Start live with the intro.
What are we
All right.
selling?
So it's behind the scenes on Metro. It's actually kind of cool. I found.
Metrosexual.
Metro Electronics has been in business for more than 70 years. As new companies come and go, our manufacturing and operation team remains in the USA. Our local operations are capable of manufacturing a wide range of car audio products, including interfaces, dash kits, speaker adapters, antenna adapters, wiring harnesses, and more. It starts with research and new product development, executed by our US engineering team and manufactured on-site in our factory. Our state-of-the-art CAD technology allows our engineering department to work hand-in-hand with our molding and die machine shop for a faster, more efficient manufacturing process and timeline. In the tool room, we produce molds and dies in record timing due to our expertise and on-site equipment. This allows us to design and produce new product quickly, keeping pace with the latest vehicle models. Computer-controlled machinery in the tool room takes our CAD drawing and makes precise 3D cuts. This efficient process also provides reliable and consistent products, from one piece to the next. The result? A perfect fit every time. Eliminating the need for installers to cut and splice, most of our wiring harnesses and adapters are produced on-site using our powerful wire stripping and terminating process. Metro's injection molding department utilizes machines with closed-loop process controls. With real-time control of the injection process from start to finish, this significantly reduces production time and overall cost of manufacturing our affordable plastic kits and accessories. Our dash kits are also painted to match the factory look and finish in our on-site painting department. At every step, assembly and quality control assurance is done manually by our team of technicians to ensure that all products meet our rigorous standards before leaving the factory. Our warehouse team then stores and ships our inventory to make sure that you can get our products as quickly as possible from our 6 different locations throughout the United States. It doesn't end there. Our local front house operation team handles everything from accounting, marketing, and administration to IT and technical support of our product. The Metro sales team helps our customers from the East Coast to the West learn about new product and place orders. Our international sales team helps dealers and distributors around the world export our product to their countries. An outside sales team visits our US customers directly to their shops or distribution centers to help with merchandising, training, events, and retail promotion. Metro manages our entire operation and manufactures as much as our product as we can right here in the USA. Keeping our operations local is more than just a goal. It's our mission. This choice is important because we employ hundreds of hard-working people. And now more than ever, keeping our operations in the US is a choice with a big impact. We know that our customers have a choice in where they purchase their products. For more than 70 years, installers have chosen Metro, and for that, we thank you.
Wow.
Hey, Keith.
How you doing?
Good.
Nice.
That was an interesting intro.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
kind of
Metro
cool to
actually
see.
blows me away with what they do and how they do it in order to get what they get for us.
Yeah, they carry a very large selection of product. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's a little mind blowing.
Well, I
But
think we need that to allow our job to work because we need to look outside the box, and they really do a good job at that. Considering all the different new features they've come up with in the last couple of years, there's hundreds of new kinds of products to integrate with the problematic vehicles that we get to play with on a daily basis.
yeah, I know like the AXDSP, when you're dealing with like a Chevy Silverado, it's an easy solution to handle the chimes and the OnStar, the Bluetooth and all that,
Hmm.
mostly the chime really, but um it gives you an easy out foundation. So we're doing one actually next week, I think. Chevy 2020 Chevy Silverado. We're using the Metro DSP to
Nice.
handle all of that for us.
Cool. Bows? No bows?
To be honest, I don't know.
Oh,
My sales guy sold it. I saw the the slip and what we needed. but the deposit came through this morning. I was there for a couple hours. And by following the advice that we talk about here is what's
Mhm.
allowed me to only be there for a couple hours this morning and be sitting outside in the beautiful sun today.
Yeah, I was noticing.
So,
Where's my sunshine? I'm feeling a little
oh,
scared.
so right now we're in that. So this morning when I left my house at 4:50, it was 30 degrees. And I don't know what it is now, but it's definitely in the 70s. So AC in the afternoon, then heat in the morning.
Hmm.
So,
We have rain in the morning and then sunshine apparently in the afternoon.
well,
Now
that's where
I blame the weatherman. They keep changing their minds. I don't know what the problem is.
I blame where you moved to. That's that area of the world, man.
Yes, it's the
So,
wet part, not the good part of the wet part. It's just the wet part.
usually the web. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, never mind.
Um,
All right.
so
Yes.
today
Did you see all
we're
the
gonna.
cool questions? Like, what do I need to do to have a better world and all that stuff? There were so many people that chimed in and said, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem. What do we do?
I haven't gone back to look at all of them, but I did see some. But I want to see an easy answer, but it's not so easy. Is what we're discussing today, and is business programs. So I've
Yes.
been in 3 of them so far. So I'm on my third, and nothing wrong with any of them. It's just where I go, where they bring me to a point, and then I might need to move on or whatever the situation is. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if we want to just get right into what I
Yeah.
did the other week or.
Well, let's start off with this. Why did you get into those? Like, what's it like? I know they're not cheap. I know that they're really time consuming. There's homework, there's a bunch of stuff that you got to deal with, and you still got your business at the same time. So, why? Is the big question.
Well, so I think many of us, I was a technician and I was an installer. When I use the term technician, I refer to people that work in the industry. So you could be a salesperson, you're an employee. And I had the dream of owning my own business. I had the opportunity to become partners in a business, and I was an employee of my business. The business ran me essentially for
Yep.
many years. And in 2017, I realized that something wasn't quite right and I shouldn't have to be slaving to my business all the time. So I started to work and move. Like, what do I need to do? I don't know. How do I get out of this predicament of slaving in the garage all day long, where the business runs me? I can't take a vacation unless we want to cease production. Like, how do I get away from this? How do I break this cycle? Um, so for me, I read a book called E-Myth. I think you read that as well. And I
Mhm.
started with their coaching, and it's progressed since there. But the way I look at it is I go and I sit in rooms with other people that have done this, and they're going to teach me the steps that I need to take to get to where they need to be. And a lot of people will say, well, our industry is different. And I disagree. I do agree, but I disagree. I think most businesses, from a business owner's point of view, 85% is the same, 90%, I'm making numbers up, and then that little bit is specific. But the structure of what you need to do as a business owner doesn't matter what industry you're in, it's the same. You
Yes.
need to create your values, your mission, you know,
Wait, it's not just buy low, sell high.
no, your
More?
processes. So, so I look at these programs as college for business, right?
Hmm.
But instead of being taught by a professor who probably never owned a business because they're a professor, they're reading from a textbook.
Wait,
I'm
so you're
being
saying those who can't do teach?
those who haven't done. I can't say
Ah,
they can't do
okay.
because you don't know what they can do, and
Yes.
they may not know either. But they don't have that real world experience. They're reading from a book. Um, and if you went to school for business, there's nothing wrong with that, right? I'm not talking down on it. I just feel that at this point in my life, this was a better move for me to go sit in a room with people that have made this progression in real time and real world, and they've experienced the real problems. Um, and the other
Mm.
part is so the one I'm in now, I sit in a weekly call, and every week for about an hour, we go a round table, um, a win you've had for the week, um, a problem you're facing, and there's one more I can't think of it right now. I'm not going to waste our time, but we go around and we all discuss our problems and our wins and things that we need, and we help each other out. And there's always a coach that guides it. So it's kind of a weekly check-in. Then once a quarter, I will actually fly in and sit in a room with, actually a couple of people in our industry are there, but I sit in a room with other business owners from other industries, and it has many benefits because so I sit in this room and we have speakers essentially all day. We do some breakout sessions and whatever, but these speakers will basically talk about life, and it's not always just business, right? It's personal life, um, how you're taking care of yourself, your outside relationships, because a lot of people don't realize that that's very important. They go hand in hand,
Mhm.
and you can only take your business as far as you can take yourself. So in these programs, at least like eMyth wasn't this way, but these ones I'm in now, they're well rounded. They expect you to work on your physical fitness. It's not mandatory, but they suggest it.
Well, it's part.
Eat right, take care of yourself,
Mhm.
because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your business, especially years down the line. So we sit in the room, we listen to people talk, motivation. It fires you up, it gives you ideas, it inspires you. You go back, and when you go back, you get two options: do nothing or implement these ideas. It's just like going to Knowledge Fest. So you go back, you implement your ideas. The other thing that they have is once a month, we have a weeknight call, and they usually have some sort of topic. So, like 2 calls ago, it was finances and budgeting. Um, I don't remember what this last one was, but so it's a very good program. Learning made easy.
Sounds very structured. So I guess one of my questions in this particular thing that you're in, do they give one-on-one coaching to help you to be reminded that, it's time to do this or that or something else that's part of the program, like the homework part?
So they all have different levels. So there is a one-on-one coaching level. Um, I'm not in that level. I used to be. I've kind of stepped out, and I'm in this other group setting. So it's really depends on what you want. But they do have the one-on-one, and the one-on-one's really nice because ultimately what it is, at the end of the day, a lot of us know what we need to do. Maybe we don't, maybe we do, but it's doing it. So if I know I'm meeting with this person every other Wednesday at 1:30, let's say, come Tuesday, it's back when you're back in school, come Tuesday night, you go, shit, my essay's due tomorrow. And you sit up all night doing it, you know? So you got to go see your coach. And he said, hey, by next week, I want core values done.
Mm.
Now you go, shit, I got to get these core values done before I see him tomorrow. Otherwise, I look like a failure. He's not going to get mad at me. He might light a fire under my ass or something, but
No, but the
um,
self-motivation of you need to get it done is ignited.
right.
Yeah.
And it's also the outside perspective, right? So it's like going to see a therapist where you have someone, when you're in the situation,
Mhm.
it's harder to see sometimes the whole situation. And when you have an outside view that's listening to you, they can sometimes, actually most of the time, help you to take a step back and view it from above
Yes.
and see the whole picture with a better mindset.
Right. Coaching one-on-one. You can't
Yeah,
see everything, but he can, or she can, or they can.
they can.
A team
Depends on
of
the pronoun.
No, I'm not going there. Sorry. I was gonna, and I thought, no, I need to rectify this. So it could be a team of people. It could be a male. It could be female. Whatever. Seeing things that you can't see and offering suggestions and guidance to get to where you want to be. And so I'm going to go back a little bit and tell people why I did this kind of thing in the past. So it was 2017. I was on top of the world. I had a ton of people. I was one of the biggest car stereo stores in this area of 3 million people. And apparently I was an asshole. And
No.
so much of an asshole that 3/4 of my staff quit. Do you know what that's
Wow.
like for car stereo? So I'm doing everything. I'm freaking out. I'm trying to do things, juggling, and think, I'm fucked. I'm going to lose my company. Holy shit. So a friend of mine said, hey, I have an idea. There's this place that I go to for self-improvement and intellectual intercourse, basically. And so I went there and I thought, wow, this is eye-opening. So it showed me a lot of the things that you were just discussing about, what's missing in life. What am I doing to create something that's going to be a challenge for myself? Why am I fucking myself, basically? And so what I found in it is that I wasn't looking at it like everybody else is looking at it. I was looking at it like a person with a very narrow view. And so I was screwing my company badly with all the people. And so after going there, I did about 3 years there. And all the people who left, they all came back.
Sure.
It was amazing. And then I started to grow again, and not just financially, but as a human being and feeling better about myself and having way less stress. Let me talk about stress for a second. Okay, stress is created in here, but it's also emanating out of here at the same time. And so what I learned about stress is that, well, technically, I don't have to have any stress. Mind blowing, right? And so what I took from that was that if I continue to work on myself, other people will want to hang out with me. And it's leadership 101. What I do for me creates an atmosphere of people wanting to be in my area and hang out with me and talk with me and grow with me. And so when I grow, I bring others with me, and it creates great leadership in my stores, and people just want to work here. So
Yeah. So that's actually a really good point. When you're growing and you're the leader, you're kind of leading by example, and your employees will start doing it. So I have right now a little over half of my employees are actually now working out, meal prepping, just like I do, and they're happier. They're living a better life because they kind of started doing this and they enjoy it. So I led by example because that's what I do. And
mhm.
now they're doing it. And as your employees grow, your business grows, right? Because if your employees are happier, your employees are healthier, it's going to bleed through to the customers and the business.
Mhm. Yeah. The
So,
old
and
adage that says the customer is always right is bullshit. Your employees are always right because you have a great communication with them and you're on the same path. You have the same core values, that making them always right.
right. And also, I just want to make a note. I don't know if you noticed it, but both our stories started in 2017.
Oh, yeah. Weird.
Yeah. So 2017 was my first Knowledge Fest, and I knew something wasn't right. But that's really what started my, journey. Um, and then I didn't start the coaching until 19 though. But that's when I started my, growth journey as a business owner.
Mhm.
So I guess part of this we were originally going to talk about is my visit with Thomas. So we want to get into that a little.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So, so
But before we do, let's lead into it. So all the questions that were asked about how to get people, how to get quality employees, how to get them to learn things that you need them to learn, how do you get to a different level of your scope of business, all those things all come down to what James is going to talk about in a second. And so the first thing I learned is that when you're in a business, you need to have an inventory of what products you have in stock. But what you don't understand, a lot of people don't get, is that you need to have an inventory of who your people are, what they're capable of, what you are, what you're capable of. Go ahead, James.
So, I'm a part of Thomas Keenan's program. It's called Break Free Academy. And, it's breaking free from your cycle of your business running you. Because I feel a lot of us run a hamster wheel in the business, working, and we can't get off that hamster wheel. So this was outside of the business coaching. It was a separate thing I did, and you don't have to. So you can do this and not be part of the business coaching. But basically, Thomas flew in, and he came into my business directly. He spent 2 entire days with me, and he saw my operation. He saw how my team was. He saw everything that we do, and he analyzed it. And I'm still waiting for the official results. But day one was just kind of seeing my operation, seeing the team, seeing how everyone worked and interacted and how everything was going. Day two, we did a SWOT analysis. And the SWOT analysis was really me. It was the business, but me in the business. And so I do a SWOT analysis with my employees, and that's for the business as a whole.
What does SWOT stand for?
So SWOT, and if you're not doing this in your business, I highly suggest it. The first time I did it, it was a little awkward, but the end results, so it was a little awkward to start. The end results were amazing. And it's now a quarterly task that my store is going to be doing. So a SWOT analysis is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Inventory.
And an inventory. So you want to basically
your inventory, not your stuff, but you as a person, as a group, as a team.
Right. So you sit down as a team, and you start with strengths, and you go down a list of all your strengths as a team. Then you go to weaknesses, and you go down your list of weaknesses. And sometimes, you can have things that overlap. So our last SWOT analysis, we had confidence as a strength. We also had it as a weakness because we can be overconfident.
I think that's a different word. I think overconfidence turns into ego.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you can do that. It's I guess it depends on how you want to word it. But we did it as confidence for both.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to dig deep, right? So you get your team set up, and you really push them to, so when you're all done, you go back around and say, okay, one more from each of you, right? And we didn't force it, but we really pushed it. Because you really don't want to play on the surface of it. You want to get down deep. So then you do your weaknesses, then you look at your opportunities. What are your opportunities as a business, right? And these could stem from your strengths and weaknesses as well. But what are the opportunities that you have as a team and business to move forward and grow and be better? Then you look at threats. What are the threats that are standing in your way of, those opportunities or anything in general? So you go through them all with the team, and then basically you want to take, 3 or 4, everything's gonna be a little different, maybe 5, but 3 or 4, I think is a fair number.
Mm-hmm.
Takeaways from that SWOT analysis. And what do you want to do over the next 90 days? So we did that on my team, and this is a funny one, I'll share it, but we went through the SWOT analysis, and we made a couple takeaways, and one was holding each other more accountable for cleaning and things like that. But one of them was checking your personal life at the door, right? Because we all could do a better job at it. Not that we did a bad job, but we could definitely do a better job. And, and maybe I had a bad night's sleep. Last night I did, actually, but I had a bad night's sleep, and I'm a little grumpy or snippy with the employees. Well, how do they address that? Because, they might be afraid to say something, or the other person that's grumpy, you're afraid to say something to them because they're grumpy. You don't want to make them worse.
Right.
So
that's why we came up.
That's why we what?
We have a safe word.
Well, that's what we started with, was
Nice.
doing a safe word. And our safe word turned into, we're going to get a pin made that says, I need a hug because we're out of Snickers.
Nice.
And if someone comes in grumpy, they have to wear the pin. So it's just putting a little humor behind it, and, making people aware, because sometimes we're not aware of our emotions or whatever it is and how it's affecting other people.
Yes.
So
baggage. We bring our
Yeah.
baggage with us. Other people see it. We don't. We just like, oh, whatever. Causes a lot of problems.
So that was our way of addressing it. And it was basically, a hidden problem in our store that no one really wanted to talk about because they didn't want to piss anyone off. But as a team, we were able to sit down, do the SWOT analysis, and talk about it. So I went way off topic there, but I think that was
No,
a
no,
good
no. I like
tangent.
it. It's really it's a solution oriented um, issue that we all go through, right? So our word is Armageddon. If somebody says Armageddon in the store, everybody stops and is like, wait, what?
Was it me?
Right. I hope it wasn't me. It's like, did I sharp myself and nobody told me or what? So if you have that kind of camaraderie that you can all stop and say, hang on a second, somebody's off the rails here. What can we do as a team to help with that? You're way further ahead than the people who just kind of duck their head in the stand and hope for the best.
Well, and that creates resentment, things like that because fuck, I got to go back to work today and I hope this guy is not in a bad mood, right? And it makes people not enjoy going to work. It makes people not enjoy being part of the team. You're walking on glass all day because this guy might be grumpy today. He might not be, type of thing. So, I don't think it would have ever been addressed if we didn't do the SWOT analysis. So the
Yeah.
SWOT analysis is great. We do one big store meeting every quarter on a Saturday when our stores close on Saturdays. So we meet Saturday, we do a meeting, and we include the SWOT analysis, and we plan on being there for a while. The other thing that I do is we'll do something after the SWOT analysis as a team. So this past time we went bowling, and we went out right after the thing, bowling, got some pizzas, and we had a great time. I think next one I'm probably going to do a barbecue at my house, and have everyone come over, do a little barbecue, and it just helps build that team.
Mhm.
So,
Team building's critical.
yeah. So going back to Thomas,
Mhm.
so day one, he basically just assessed everything. And it was actually really nice because he really reminded me of how far I've come. Because sometimes we stop to look at where we were, where we are, celebrate our victories, things like that.
Mhm.
And he really reminded me of when he met me in 2019 to now, the vast difference. And that was nice. And then day two, we did the SWOT analysis and we spent all day doing that. It was really deep. So then he takes this information back to his team and they process it and they basically build me an action plan of what they believe I should be doing to build a better business.
Okay, so let's talk about action plan because that's the first time in all this information that you've actually brought that term up. How does that look? What does that look like?
So I don't know what his looked like yet because I haven't got it back.
Doesn't matter.
I believe I have it this week. But for me, an action plan. So when I go to Knowledge Fest or I go to Dallas for the weekend or the week, whatever it is, I always come back with an action plan. And I will take that action plan, I will prioritize it and stick it on my wall, right on the whiteboard, whatever I feel like that month. And I basically keep it in front of me and I walk through, I work on them one at a time.
Mhm.
So in the past, I would, okay, I want to do this, 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 and this, and go, and nothing would get done. So I've learned the hard way that, prioritize it. What's going to be the most impactful to your business today if you did it?
Yeah.
And that's number one, and you get it done. And once that's done and implemented, you move to number two.
So before you do that, from my experience, you need to put a timeline on it. Otherwise, it may not get done.
Right.
An
That is
action
true.
plan is, to me, a clear and concise box. This is what's going to happen. This is the time frame it's going to happen in. This is the contingency plan if something goes awry. And you always have to get back on that in order to complete the task. So it's a fail safe for anything that's going to happen. So let's say I need to buy a new car for the company, or I need to buy a van for the company so we could do outside sales or whatever, installations. So I give myself 3 weeks to find it at the price point that I'm looking for. I look for who can I buy it from that will actually help me to grow my business at the same time, because I want partnerships along the way. All these things come into play for an action plan. It's not just as simple as like, I'm just going to go buy a new van. So many things come into it. And so when I bring my team into these action plans to figure out the best form of action that we can come through, it grows. And sometimes it's overwhelming. So we write things down. I got a whole bunch of writing on the wall to help me with that, because I'm only one person, and one person alone can only do so much. So the team really comes into play to make these things grow into things that flourish for all of us.
It's also, when you bring the team in, it makes them feel part of the decision making, feel part of the store, and they feel important. And
Mhm.
I don't care who you are, that's what people want. They want to feel important. They want to feel part of something.
Mhm.
Your customers too, right? So keep that in mind. That's another topic. But it allows the employees to have a voice and be part of the growth and path and decision making of what you're going to do next. So it really, I think it plays a crucial role.
It
And I'm
does.
glad we started doing them.
Nice.
So,
Evan at Sound Solutions says, I want to be a team player as well. Barbecue sounds sweet.
so I can't see.
Oh,
All it says is Facebook user on this.
yeah,
I'm usually on my computer.
yeah, I'm on
So,
that. I'll do
well,
it for
it's funny. I can see Jonathan Marcato and I can see
you. Yeah,
Eric,
because
and then the other four say Facebook user.
they're admins on here, so that's why you can see them.
So, long story short, mentors are great. Business coaching programs are fantastic. You got to find the right one for you.
Yeah.
Even mentors, right? You got to find the right one for you.
Right. But to me, it always goes back to inventory. So I have I have more than one. I have inventory locations. So I have rooms for inventory. And then if somebody takes a vital part out of that inventory area and puts it somewhere else, I can't count that part. I don't know where it is. I don't know if I have it or not. And it's the same thing with a personal inventory. I can't always see what's missing, or what I have or what I think I have are two different things. And so when I have a business coach or a team of people that can work with me to find out what seems to be missing so that I can grow, then I can grow. Right? If I have the knowledge, I could do something with it. It's like any inventory part, right? Sell what you have in stock today. What do you have in stock today? I don't know. That part's missing. It was there yesterday. I don't know where it is. I'm not going to sell it today. So, inventory.
Inventory is
So
important.
yeah. So all these people are saying, you know, they're Spencer Richardson wants to sleep better and eat well. Sorry, healthy. Gary Davis says finding new quality skilled help. Sarah Russell says finding reliable staff. Jonathan Mercado says not knowing product. So all these things roll into the same thing. If you don't know where you are, there's no way of getting to a place where you think that you want to be, because it's just irrelevant. So find a place, a company, or some people that have experience with this stuff, and find out where you are.
I think, you're right. And then another way that I've done it too is sometimes we're go, 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 and we don't stop, right? So it's important to stop and take that inventory.
Mhm.
And I've talked about it in the past, but for me, I'll do that every once in a while, on my back porch. No phone, no computer, smoke a cigar in the evening, something, right, actually right here,
Yeah.
when no one's home, and I'll, it's kind of like my quiet zone, peaceful zone, and have a notepad, old school notepad and pen, and that's it, because I can't get distracted.
Always have a notepad.
So I use my phone a lot for notes because it's right there. But
Mhm.
when I'm doing this, I don't want my phone on me because it's easy to say, well, let's just check TikTok for a second, or whatever it is.
Trap.
Yeah. So I don't want any distractions to be able to bother me. So that's what I'll do a lot of times, to think about where I'm at, where I want to be, how am I going to get there?
Yeah. And if people here want to know how to get to there, they can call us, right? Send us a
Right.
text, message, something. We both have experience in getting to the place where we want to go, finding out where that's supposed to be. There's several ways to do it. There's, I guess, the only wrong way is illegally. Yes, that would be the wrong way. So,
So you got an example of illegally?
hookers. Well, they're
You're
a business,
distracted.
right?
All right, I got you.
Yeah. I don't know. Just thinking, shit.
Drug
So,
dealers.
yeah, all that stuff. There's always some kind of business opportunity out there that is different than ours. And when we look at their way of doing it, um, we may think, hang on, I'm doing a better way than they are, right? I'm not doing cash. We do things on the books correctly. We don't steal from our customers. We don't uh, give them less drugs and more buff, right? Things like that. We are transparent. We're giving. We're generous. We're kind. We're honest. We're all these things that um, some of those other businesses aren't. And so there's a lot of ways to learn. One way is to learn about what you can aspire to, and some of the things to learn is what you don't want to aspire to.
And I think that's actually going to circle back is a really good reason to do a business, coaching program, whether it's group or whatever, because you can see what's possible. You can see those examples, and we all kind of know within reason what we don't want to be, but we don't necessarily know what we want to be or what's possible.
Yes, what is possible? That's always the question.
Yeah. And it's, I didn't think it was possible for me to get out of the garage and run a business because it's hard to find techs and, people don't do it like I did and this and that.
Yeah, quality
And,
techs that will listen and do something great for the company instead of just for themselves.
and I recently did have a issue with a bad tech and we had a couple rashes of bad work, but I took a lesson from it, extracted it and, you know, took the hit and moved on.
Yeah, Marcel Newell always said, he's like, you know what? Hire slowly, fire quickly.
Right. And I think we're the opposite in our industry where we, we fire quickly because we're desperate and hire quickly because we're desperate and we fire slowly because we're desperate.
Yes.
And if you create that culture, people, you're going to attract people. You're more likely to get better help and things like that because you're creating that great environment and that great culture and people want to be part of that.
Mhm.
Like your example, that's a perfect example, right? You didn't have a good environment. You didn't have a good culture. They all left.
Yeah.
You fixed it. You created it. Now you have a fantastic team and you probably have a lot more employees than you did then.
No, just more effective. It's 4 per store, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. It's a really good winning combination. Things get done effectively. They all work together quite nicely until there's an Armageddon word, and then things change, and then we go back in, we work on it, and then it gets back to awesome again.
So what do you have, a manager, 2 installers, and a salesperson?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And it's different areas, so it works out quite well for everybody.
Yeah.
One's a recreation area, one's a BMW high-end car area, one's just does everything.
Nice. Now we're doing a radar today in a 2020 GT 53 AMG.
Oh, nice.
So that's a nice car. Yeah.
Dollar special.
Yeah. So, but it's almost done, I think. I have to check in when we get off the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm on standby. If they need my help, I'm going to shoot over there and help them to make sure that job is 100% and good. But I think they're good. So I'm probably going to stay home and work on some back end stuff because I'm trying to create some email campaigns and things like that to keep, as a business owner, I feel my job is not necessarily to be working in the garage. It's to be marketing my business and creating a more efficient business and a better place.
Mm-hmm.
So
Working on your business instead of in it.
right.
If you don't, then you're just working for yourself.
Right. And that can get old.
Yeah. I like
So-
vacations. I give myself 3 months a year.
So I'm not there yet, but this is my biggest year where I have 4 weeks and I got a couple long weekends, but 4 weeks vacation. I went on a cruise for a week, I'm in Disney for a week, and I'm in Greenland for 2 weeks.
Green.
So
Wow.
I'm doing a cruise to Greenland.
Okay, I was gonna say it was like there's a lot of
It's so
ice.
cheap.
Yeah.
It's so cheap. The cruise for my wife and I, 2 weeks, all inclusive, no alcohol, but we don't really drink, so not a problem. But all the food's included, room and board, blah blah blah. $2,400.
Wow.
You can't beat that. Less than $100 a day.
That's pretty
think.
cheap. Yeah.
Yeah,
2
less than $100 a day. So you can't even get a hotel that cheap. Well, you can. You just don't want to stay in it.
You don't want to do that. I don't like that, bucks.
So, all right. Well,
Nice.
I
Thanks
think
again.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
Facebook user says an old boss of mine explained how psychology works very well when selling to customers. That's all I can see. There might be more. I don't
Well,
know.
psychology is huge when it's selling to customers because,
That
I
makes
mean,
sense.
yeah. So that's another topic, though.
That's
so-
all. Yeah.
Thank everyone for watching. And if you guys have any questions on anything that we discussed, how to get there, again, either reach out to us or comment below. And, we'd love to, because if you got a question about something we talked about, I guarantee you other people do, and they may not just want to speak up. So ask the question. Let's help everyone out. And that's why we're here, right? We want to educate people, help people grow and be better. And if you guys got advice for us on something we said, because we're not know-it-alls here, we're just sharing our experience, and there could be something you can teach us. Put it in the comments too.
Thanks, James. Perfectly said.
Thanks, Keith.
Have a great day.
You too. See you next Wednesday.
Okay. Bye-bye.